August 31st, 1957, the Islamic world. The making of a race of devils. New York, Amsterdam news. Mr. Yaqub's charge to his laborers was very strict. Death if one disobeyed. They didn't know what Yaqub had in mind until they were given their labor to do. Notice, in last week's article, he made his laborers, from the chief to the least, liars. The doctor lied about the blood of the two black people who wanted to marry, that it did not mix. The brown and black could not be married, brown only. The doctors of today hold the same position over people. You go to them to get a blood test to see if you are fit to be married. Today, they say it is done to see if there are any contagious germs in the blood. I wish that they would enforce such a law today. Keep the white from mixing with black. Just the opposite. Perhaps we could remain black and not be disgraced by a mixture of all colors. In the days of Yaqub's grafting of the present white race, a new and unlike race among the black nation for 600 years, his law was that they should not allow the black to mix with their blood. His aim was to kill and destroy the black nation. He ordered the nurses to kill all black babies that came to birth among his people by pricking the brains with a sharp needle as soon as the black child's head is out of his mother. If the mother is alert, watching the nurse, then the nurse would lie and fool the mother to get possession of her child to murder it by saying that she, mother, gave birth to an angel child, and that she, the nurse, would like to take the baby to heaven, so when the mother dies, she would have a room with her child in heaven, for her baby was an angel. This is the beginning of the first lie or liar, and it was so that the nurse would take the black baby away on this falsehood and claim that they were taking the poor black baby to heaven. As Yaqub had taught them, they would feed it to wild beasts, and if they did not find a wild beast to feed the black babies to, Yaqub told the nurses to give it to the cremator to burn. Mr. Yaqub warned the laborers from the doctors down to this cremator that if any one of them failed to carry out his orders, off go their heads. When there was a birth of a brown baby, the nurse would come and make much ado over it, and would tell the mother that she had given birth to a holy child, and that she would nurse it for the next 6 weeks, for her child was going to be a great man. That is when it was a boy baby. After the first 200 years, Mr. Yaqub had done away with the black babies and all were brown. After another 200 years, he had all yellow or red, which was 400 years after being on Pilan. Another 200 years, which brings us to the 600th year, Mr. Yaqub had an all pale white race of people on this isle. Of course, Mr. Yaqub did not live but 150 years, but his idea continued into practice. He gave his people guidance in the form of literature, what they should do and how to do it, how to rule the black nation. He said to them, when you become unlike white, you may return to the Holy Land and people from whom you were exiled. The Yaqub made devils were really pale white with real blue eyes, which we think are the most ugliest of colors for a human eye. They were called Caucasian, which means stale-faced and weak-boned, later called Shaitan, which means, according to some of the Arab scholars, one whose evil effect is not confined to oneself alone, but affects others. There was no good taught to them while on the island. By teaching the nurses to kill the black baby and save the brown baby so as to graft the white out of it, by lying to the black mother of the baby, this lie was born into the very nature of the white baby, and murder for the black people was also born in them, or made by nature a liar and a murderer. The black nation is only fooling themselves to take the Caucasian race otherwise. This is what Jesus learned of their history, before he gave up his work of trying to convert the Jews or white race to the religion of Islam. And the same knowledge of them was given to Muhammad by the imams or scientists of Mecca. That is why the war of the Muslims against them came to a stop. Muhammad was told that he could not reform the devils and that the race had 1,400 more years to live. And the only way to make righteous people, Muslims, out of them was to graft them back into the black nation. This grieved Muhammad so much that it caused him heart trouble until his death, aged 62.5 years. The old scientists used to laugh at Muhammad for thinking he could convert them, the devils, to Islam. This hurt his heart. Hurry and lose not time in joining on to your own kind. The time of this world is at hand.
We're the singers and players of instruments, the ones that you fear would come one day. The world is in trouble. Wake up, we're running out of time. We only need Allah to take refuge. Brother, did you know our Savior has arrived? Sister, did you know He's in the world and He's alive? A new world is coming. The new ruler is here. A new world is coming. The new ruler is here.